So we've talked about this before, the power of Netflix and their animated shows and what they can do for a franchise. We've seen it happen with The Witcher in the sense that not only was The Witcher TV show doing very well and spiking numbers for the video game, but then they did The Witcher animated show, which further spiked sales for the video game and caused more viewers to go to the show. Then we saw it happen with Edge Runners, with Cyberpunk 2077. 2 years after the dismal launch of that game, Netflix produces this amazing animated show around the franchise, and suddenly Cyberpunk 2077 becomes the best-selling game on Steam, and subsequently has million plus users on a daily basis for more than a month during the entirety of that run. Now we see Dragon Age getting its own animated show. And this, in my mind, is a brilliant marketing move by BioWare to attempt to bring their franchise back into relevancy. Because as much as everyone loves the Dragon Age franchise, not everyone loves BioWare because of some of the mistakes that they've made in recent years as a company. Now, I am one of those rare individuals who loved both Anthem and Mass Effect Andromeda. Some people would call me crazy for that, and you can if you want to, but I genuinely enjoyed Anthem. I pre-ordered that game for my brother and I. We went into it, we played it together. We both suffered blue screen crashes on our PlayStations, but we still had a lot of fun. It was a great storyline. It was peak BioWare storytelling. Did the game have issues? It absolutely did. But was it a fun experience? I enjoyed it. I felt like I got my money's worth. And then going back to Mass Effect Andromeda, I've played that game through 3 times. I think it's great. Forget the eye animation issues for a minute. A lot of people have said the story was generic. It didn't feel Mass Effecty enough. It felt like a generic sci-fi. I was okay with that. Like I just enjoyed the fact that I was getting more Mass Effect set in a different world. So after sort of 2 failures back to back, BioWare needs a win. And this is honestly, this right here is a really smart way to get a win because they're doing what all the other franchises are doing, and this is what has been helping those franchises get out of their slumps or to drive more sales or do all these other things. So let's talk about this today. Dragon Age Absolution announces their December 9th premiere date and a very stacked voice cast. So if you haven't ever heard of me and you've never been on one of my videos before, welcome. I'm Tim Anderson, sometimes known as the Bearded Dwarven Princess Renfail, who does a lot of Rings of Power and House of the Dragon and Star Wars Andor and other stuff. Like, follow, subscribe, all those good things to get more of this and beyond. We'll talk more at the end about ways you can support like all of these amazing people. But in the meantime, let's dive into this. Before we go into the whole article, worth noting is at the very end of this, it says in the trailer's description, which we're not actually going to watch the trailer because I don't want to get hit with a copyright ding. It says, drop another hint that says, P.S. If you've read this far, see you on Dragon Age Day or maybe sooner, which suggests that on December 4th, which is Dragon Age Day, that's a fan holiday, there's probably going to be additional details about Absolution, or it could be about the next game, which by the way has been getting some really cool dev updates if you haven't been following along over at their main website. To say that I am hyped for this show would be a little bit of an understatement. I will be reviewing this show here on my YouTube channel, which I did not do for Cyberpunk Edge Runners because some things I just like to do for myself. But I like this game a lot. I've just recently, I think about maybe 6 months ago, it might even be less than that, did a replay through of Dragon Age Origins, which to me is one of the best RPGs I've played over the years. After Baldur's Gate 2, which still holds the top position for me, but Dragon Age Origins is up there for me. So I've been a big fan of the franchise ever since it started. I have different levels of enjoyment for the various entries into the series. I know a lot of people love Inquisition. I don't think Inquisition was the strongest entry into the series, but it did give us more expansion of the lore with each episode, and that's never a bad thing. So I love all the games, even if I don't enjoy all of them equally. So I am super, super stoked for the upcoming game. Now, with this trailer dropping and the announcement of the premiere date on December 9th, we're told a story about a heist against the most powerful man at Deventer. And when that heist goes south, there's an elven mercenary named Miriam who's forced into a desperate fight for survival. Now, to save herself and her friends, she has to confront her tragic past that she spent a lifetime trying to escape. So we're getting a variety of sort of standard fantasy characters. They're being sent on a mission by the Inquisition to steal a golden Ouroboros looking artifact called the Circulum Infinitus. And what do you know? It's fueled by blood magic because that just wouldn't be able to be bad if it wasn't blood magic. Blood magic. We don't have exactly when it was first revealed. We didn't know exactly when it was going to be set, but we still don't have any specificities. Excuse me. But it says there's a cameo in the trailer that definitively settles Absolution takes place in the same timeline as the game series. It says likely preceding the events of the upcoming Dragon Age Dreadwolf, which from a marketing standpoint would be a really smart move from to launch this show as a prequel. If you love this, you're going to love what we have coming. And wouldn't it be cool if they announced the actual publication date? I don't think they will, but that would be really cool if they did on Dragon Age Day. One can hope, one can wish. You never know. In any case, the animation style is something you may be familiar with. It's going to have 6 30-minute episodes, which go live all at the same time. Thank God I don't have to wait each week. I can literally just go get them all and binge them over the day or two, which I may do. I may just binge the whole thing and then do a review. I don't know if I'll do episode by episode reviews or not. We'll see. But I will be covering the show in some factor here. So it's premiered by Red Dog Culture House, which also produced The Witcher Nightmare of the Wolf. Which, by the way, if you haven't seen Witcher Nightmare of the Wolf, oh man, was that like Chris has never gotten into animes and she loved it, but she also loves the Witcher show mostly because it's Henry Cavill. QQ that he's no longer going to be involved. I'm still not over that. I am still not over that. Probably never going to be over that. Whatever. Anyways, the voice cast is pretty stoked as well. They call it stacked. I say stoked. Matthew Mercer's here. Ashley Birch, Sumali Montano, Phil Lamar, Kimberly Brooks, Keston John, Josh Keaton, Zara Razal. I'm going to butcher that. Zara Fazal? I don't know all these names. I know a couple of those names. Matthew Mercer, of course, and Phil Lamar, who I've loved ever since the Mad TV days. I feel like I should know who Ashley Birch is. Yes. Remember from Horizon Zero Dawn. I do remember that. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm not Dr. Disrespect. Anyway, great voice cast. For me, though, the voice casts are always good, but I think the most important thing for me is going to be seeing this actually come out and draw interest towards the next game. Hopefully, it's going to be as good of a show as Arcane was, because I feel like they have the opportunity here because I think they have equally rich lore when compared to what they've got with the League of Legends world. Because Dragon Age has been around now for a while. They've put out 4 games. They've fleshed out a variety of you know historical moments in the game's world. They've had a long time to build this IP into something, so they have a good chance to knock this out of the park. So I got my fingers crossed. I can't wait to be watching this show when it comes out on December 9th. Hopefully, all of you will be ready to watch this alongside me. Let me know in the comments below if you're also excited about this and if you have anything else you'd like to add to the conversation. And if you've gotten to the end here, and you want to support the channel, hopefully you do. Hopefully I've earned that from you if you're a returning visitor. Or if you're just first timer and you say, hey, I like this guy, I want to support. It's really simple. On these types of videos that are uploaded, it's just drop a super thanks down there. Do whatever you want. $2, $5. Buy me a cup of coffee. Buy me a Ferrari. I mean, it's kind of up to you. And beyond that, you can always do memberships. We have 3 different tiers of the Adventurers Guild. We do fun stuff for our members. If you just hang out on the channel for a little bit, you'll see all the things we do. Check out the community post section. Check out the Discord. Check out the shorts. Check out all the things. I'm full-time on YouTube since June of 2022, thanks to the support of all our community members. So that's the easy way. There's also a Patreon page if you want to check out what my wife and my brother and I work on in our day jobs as game devs and fantasy authors and artists and so on and so forth. And in the meantime, hopefully you'll be getting ready and prepped. I mean, it might be time for Dragon Age 2 playthrough, which I haven't played since the game first came out. Food for thought. Maybe the whole franchise leading up to Dragon Age 5. You never know. In the meantime, everybody, stay safe. Happy hunting. Happy watching. I'll see you guys on the flip side.